My favorite moment here at Limestone would have to be beating Lemoyne at Lemoyne in 2012, my sophomore year, and being able to run over to all the parents there on the fence, standing up on the gate, and my dad grabbed me crying and stuff like that. It was definitely like one of the greatest moments I think I've seen with my dad. Yeah, that's about it there.
I'm holding it. Word. All right, so like my favorite moment here at Limestone would be probably 5 a.m. at the graveyard. What was it, sophomore year, freshman year?
Sophomore year.
Sophomore year.
It's been a while.
Yeah, running those graveyards in like 23-degree weather, shorts and t-shirts, hands bleeding from doing push-ups on the frozen grass and frozen concrete. And those burpees weren't too fun either. No. Yeah, it's a lovely time. Yeah.
Yeah. My advice to next year's team would be just to ETS or embrace the suck. I think we all know what that means, and just to push through every day. Don't think next week or next year. Just think about getting through the day, and have fun with Coach Lamb. Yeah, that's it.
My favorite moment's probably we were in Lees McRae, and we have a bus driver that we try to request every single time. He actually, during one of the last parts of the game, he came out and had grilled for us. He had all these, he had like a little grill and little miniature tables and like grilled his hamburgers and had all this stuff set up for us. It was so fun. So we just sat outside after our game and enjoyed the weather and all hung out. It was fun.
Yeah. Some more advice I think is the other next year's team needs to know is everybody needs to learn the lyrics to Church by T-Pain. It's a required song, especially if you're going to sit in Squares' van. It's what we use to pump up ourselves every single game. There's also a clap rhythm, but I think the seniors next year will hopefully be able to teach you that to you guys.
Are you rolling already?
It's all right, we good.
Oh, Lord, he going to put some stuff in there.
I guess my favorite moment at Limestone probably come at practice when our teammate, Nay, she was trying to do a backflip, and it did not work at all. She ended up falling on her face, and it was like the funniest thing ever.
It was like a week before conference, and Coach was like, "What are you doing? That was a terrible idea."
Yeah, that's probably my favorite moment here at Limestone so far.
Go ahead. I'll just state what you were going to say first.
My favorite road trip was sophomore year when we went down to Flagler. We were able to stay in a golf resort, and I remember everyone was complaining that they wanted to go see the beach or go to the beach on one of our off days down there, and Coach made the bus driver drive by the beach and yelled, "Are you happy now?" And then we went back to the hotel for the rest of the day.
My favorite moment at Limestone is when our teammate challenged our coach to a 200-meter race. Our coach gave him a 50-meter head start, and our coach was dressed nice. He had a polo, khaki, and Sperry's on. He gave him a 50-meter head start, and our coach still caught up to him.
Okay, funny or memorable story about your coach? I would have to say in practice we were working on spread, which is a stall, and he said, if anyone shoots in the goal, you better pick up the ball, take it home, because it's your souvenir because you're cut.
And I have an advice for my teammates that are staying here, and we won the tournament that year because we were together, and just stay together, be friends with each other, and don't let small stuff bring you guys down. Because if we stay together, I'm pretty sure Limestone can do even greater than just win the conference tournament, can win the regionals and someday even the nationals.
My advice to next year's team is to realize that you guys are all adults and have to now take responsibility for your actions, but have fun with your team off the field and enjoy your time here, because those are the moments you're going to cherish.
Yeah. My advice would probably be keep it to just one meeting from Coach, because when you have to have 3 or 4, you know you guys got a problem.
My advice that I would give to next year's team would be, have fun, because it's a long season, a very long season. Work hard, but don't drive yourself crazy working so hard.
My advice to next year's team would be enjoy each other, have fun. It's a very long season, we can't change that, but just enjoy it while you can, because it goes really, really fast.
Advice to next year's team would be just to embrace everyone's unique character and to love your teammates, because they're your sisters and to just try your hardest in everything that you do and be appreciative of everything that you have.
So our favourite moment here at Limestone, I think we all agree, was the Leeds McRae game away.
Yeah.
Right, this season?
Yeah, for sure.
Definitely.
What happened there, Kino?
Well, impossible odds. We were down to 10 men after Hibbo got sent off. And then we scored with like 2 goals really quick. And then we all went mad, didn't we, towards the end because we didn't think.
I think it was funny to see just Raimundo, Joe, and Chicks celebrating with us, and also Cal Walken was there. Cal Carris was there as well. I think it was good to see Coach and Connie celebrating as well. That's good.
My least favorite road trip was that drive back from Christmas training trip in Greensboro, and after we stopped at Moe's. I think you'll know what I'm talking about. It was a bit smelly and it was a long ride.
My favorite moment here at Limestone is definitely beating Florida Southern on 7 overtimes, 10-9. Crazy game, most exciting game I've ever been a part of, but definitely my favorite moment.
To describe my experience here, I've enjoyed every second of it. I transferred here after my sophomore year at Buffalo. I was running Division I. Came down here, way warmer, way better environment, no regrets. I'm happy I got the opportunity, and I thank everyone for that.
So my favorite road trip here at Limestone was definitely my sophomore year when we went to Florida with the tennis team to watch the Davis Cup. Brazil play against the US in here, so I was really excited to go there. It was actually pretty neat because Brazil almost won, and I ended up to appear in the Brazilian television, so my friends and family back home were texting me and saying, hey, you were in the TV. So yeah, I think that was actually very interesting.
My advice to next year's team would be to listen to Coach Lamb, because when you do and you get on his good side, it's smooth sailing, but when you don't, it's a living hell, so definitely listen to Lamb.
My advice to next year's team and the coaches would be, when in doubt, always go with the dark singlet.
How do I look? Good.
Advice I would give to everybody is just try to have fun. College, it's mostly about gaining the experience, and don't say, I wish I should have done that, say, I did it, and yeah.
It's really hard to describe my experience in one word, but the one word that I would go with would have to be phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal. When I came here, I didn't know what to expect. I was just this little kid from Africa, okay? And just being here, and the privilege to play your sport in college, and it's something that to be cherished. I leaving Limestone today with a family that I know I can call on and I can be around, and that experience in itself, having a second family away from home, is absolutely phenomenal.
My advice for next year's team would be start running now, because you're going to be running a lot every day for the whole season.
If I had to sum up my Limestone career in one word, it would be memorable. It has been a wonderful journey, creating bonds on and off the field with my team, and achieving a lot of accomplishments and being able to just call them a family away from home. That's my experience here at Limestone.
My favorite moment here at Limestone would be when Whitney Taylor and I were suite mates, and I put a blue freshener in the toilet to make sure it smelled fresh. Whitney Taylor on the track team decided to go flush the toilet, and it overflowed everywhere. There was toilet paper all in the bedrooms. Whitney flooded the dorm. Could not shut the water off. No one knew how to shut the water off, so it kept flowing and flowing. But luckily, someone walked by. The RA was able to save us, turn the water off, and Whitney Taylor cleaned the bathroom and the dorm room for the rest of the day. I love you, Whitney.
The favorite road trip we had was our senior year going to Georgia. The bus broke down on the way home, and it was so hot on the bus that we all decided that we were going to go underneath where you're supposed to put storage.
And before, when we were in Georgia, we went to Olive Garden for dinner that night, and then we got back to the hotel, and it was all the seniors and then Mariette and Paige. We all shared the suite. It was pretty much a regular room, and then an extra room that had a couch with a bed that like folded in like this that Mariette and I had to share. And when we got back from Olive Garden, I think they spiked the food or something because we were so hyper for like an hour and a half after we got back, dying laughing, just at everything that happened. That was a great night.
Going to nationals in St. Louis. The whole way there, I was pretty nervous, but I was talking to Revels, and Reed was on a different flight, and I just kept looking at his Snapchat story, and it just kept saying, Team Caleb, let's go, about to do this, and had me nervous because I had the returning national champ first match, and they had faith in me, but sometimes I got a little weary, and went out there first match and just stuck the national champ. Kind of after that, it was a little bit smooth sailing, and just had a good old time the next night, and national championships, All-American.
Worst road trip, coming back from Lees McCray. We got the dub, we're on the road, and all of a sudden, so everybody like, okay, what's going on? Bus broke down, we on the side of the road.
Yeah.
And then you go.
A 3-hour trip turned into a 8-hour trip, and we got back at like 4 in the morning.
Did you know what we needed? A light bulb.
We needed a light bulb. And you know what Coach said? Go to school. Go to class. Go to class. And I know it's late. You're waking up in 2 hours, but go to class. That was our most memorable moment for Coach was when we were in the Elite Eight and we were up by 3 with like 15 seconds to go.
The longest 15 seconds.
Longest 15 seconds ever.
Of our life.
And we had a timeout, and Coach brung us out of the timeout. He said, F it. We go out there, we ball, we do what we need to do. That was the best moment. He hyped us up as a unit, coaching staff, all that. And we went out and we won, and we went to the Final Four.